the language used for meetings, or how to interject in meetings. How many times have you sat through a meeting with something to say, but never quite knowing when to say it? Or found yourself nodding and smiling in agreement while wondering what the discussion was even about? Speaking up in meetings to interject or correct someone, to ask for clarification, can be very intimidating. But having a few useful phrases can help you feel more confident to share your thoughts and opinions effectively in group situations or meetings. When you've got an idea, often people don't speak up because they're afraid of being wrong or sounding uninformed. But you can use informal questions or comments to be able to express your ideas without committing to the idea. For example, we could ask, have we thought about? Did anyone mention? What another option we may want to consider? Is it worth revisiting? I think that, I don't think that, or in my opinion. With all of these statements, we're asking for additional information or suggesting idea. And the most important point is that we do it professionally and politely. Now, supporting your opinions. Let me illustrate. For example, for instance, or to give you an example. Let me give you an example, to elaborate, or to sequence something. First, second. And interrupting politely. Excuse me, pardon me, sorry to interrupt, or may I interrupt for a moment? Again, in meetings, it's very important to speak up, but do so professionally and politely. Sitting quietly through a meeting can lead others to think that you don't know what's going on or you have no interest in the topic at hand. Asking for support or details. Why do you think that? Could you elaborate? Could you give me an example? Can you illustrate that? What evidence do you have? Could you explain it in more detail? And could you provide some details? Now, opening a discussion. To begin with, or we need to discuss, let's start by, the problem here is, the important thing here is, and the main thing we need to discuss is, asking for input. Often in meetings, when someone doesn't offer a comment or suggestion, it's often good to simply ask them for their opinion, to offer, what do you think? How do you feel about that? Or any ideas on that, to get someone who might have been sitting quietly to engage or participate. And clarifying your own ideas. To offer, in other words, what I mean is, what I'm trying to say is, and to clarify. Responding. That sounds like a good idea. Sounds good. The problem with that is, or that raises the issue of, and asking for clarification, getting something cleared up and making sure that you understand it. What do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? What was that again? Or could you clarify that? And then clarifying another's ideas. What you mean is, what you're saying is, if I understand you, so you think that, so your idea is. Here we're restating the idea and making sure that we understand it fully. Checking understanding. We can ask, do you understand? Are you with me so far? Any questions? Or in showing our understanding, we can respond with, I see, I understand. Now expressing a lack of understanding. I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean? I don't follow you, or I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Agreeing and disagreeing in meetings. Appropriate agreement and disagreement is an important part of all meetings. How to agree, some standard phrases. I entirely agree with you. You're quite right. I couldn't agree more. That's exactly how I see it, and that's just how I feel. Now some short answers. So do I do too, I don't either, a negative response, nor do I, and neither do I. And how to disagree. I'm sorry, but I really can't agree. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Well, I don't know. It depends. I'm afraid I really don't agree. I'm afraid I don't totally agree with that. Yes, I think it's a good idea, but I think it's difficult to implement. And don't you think it's still a little early? These are all some examples of ways that we can interject our ideas, ask questions, ask for clarification, and engage ourselves in meetings and conversations. Thank you for watching Speak English online video lesson. See you next time.